What is a solution? We have come across this word solution many times. In what way? They ask you solve, evaluate, find. These type of terms are being or words are being used in a question where we find a solution of the variable. So basically solution is the value of any value of the variable which when used or substituted in an equation makes its both sides equal. Now what do you mean by both sides? Say for example, if I write an equation 2x minus 1 is equal to 9. This side of the equation, because it is in the left hand side, so that is why we say it is LHS or left hand side, and this is on the right hand side, so that is why we call it as an RHS. So according to the definition, any value of the variable which when used or substituted in an equation, it makes both its sides equal. So let us put x is equal to 5 in the above equation. So 2, 5 minus 1. 2 in bracket means 2 is multiplied with 5. So 2 times 5 is 10. 10 minus 1. 10 minus 1 is equal to 9. And if we see the RHS and the LHS both are same. So what do we see? We see that LHS and RHS become equal. So here what is this? This the value of x here, that is x is equal to 5, is called as the solution of the equation. So any value, in this case it was 5, any value of the variable which when substituted in the equation makes both its sides equal, and that will be true for that particular equation. Now the third important concept that we have to revise is solving linear equation in one variable, or how to find a solution. How do we find a solution to the given equation? The first rule that we have studied was rule number 1 was law of equation. What was law of equation? Law of equation was whatever you do on one side of an equation, you must do on the other side as well. So say for example, if you have 2x minus 1 is equal to 9, so if I add 1, then I will have to add 1 on both sides. So 2x minus 1 plus 1 is equal to 9 plus 1. You can see here I have added 1 on both sides. What happens? Plus 1 minus 1 is cancelled and we are left with 2x is equal to 9 plus 1 is 10. Now still we see that x is not independent of any number yet. So what do? We divide 2 on both sides. So 2x by 2 is equal to 10 by 2. 2 cancel, 2 ones are 5s are. So we get x is equal to 5. This type of finding a solution or solving a linear equation is called as law of equation. This is called as law of equation. What does the law of equation says? If you add or even subtract if you divide or even multiply, you have to do the same on both sides. So when you do it on both sides, then by this technique or method, we find the solution of the equation. And this type of technique is called as law of equation. Now coming to rule 2. Rule 2 is transposing. Now, this is an important technique for you to master as you progress from class 7 to class 8 and beyond. Now, what is this transposing, or how do we do transposing? We'll study this in detail with different examples. This is actually the process of moving quantities across the equal sign in an equation. Like say for example, if I have again the same equation, 2x minus 1 is equal to 9. As I said, this is the left hand side and this is the right hand side. So in the first step, what am I going to do? I am going to transpose plus 1 to the right hand side. So 2x is equal to 9, where it is minus 1 goes behind 9 and becomes plus 1. So we have 2x is equal to 10. Now x is still not independent of any number. So what do? 2 is transposed to the other side, divided by 2. So x is equal to 5. Now in this step, what have we done? We transpose 2 to the right hand side, and here you can see that 2 was in multiplication with x. So when it came to this side, it became division. So when we have the left hand side and the right hand side, if it is plus, it becomes minus when transposed. If it is minus, then it becomes plus. If it is division, it becomes multiplication, and if it is multiplication, it becomes division. This you have to remember, how the sign changes of a variable or a number or an expression when it is being transposed or moved across the equal sign in the given equation. So it is very important that the movement of the numbers or movement of the expressions or variables are across the equal sign. Like I'll give you an example to explain what do you mean by movement of numbers across the equal sign. Say I have the same equation, 2x minus 1 is equal to 9. I can write this as minus 1 plus 2x is equal to 9. What have I done here? This is nothing but rearrangement of the left hand side. I have simply rearranged whatever was written here, I wrote it here, and this 2x I have written here. I haven't moved them across equal sign. The equal sign is like we are not moving any number across equal sign, so that is why no sign is changing. You can see here minus is with 1, so minus is with 1 only. 2 here has plus, so 2 also here has plus. So there is no, it's like none of the expressions are moving across the equation. So this is not a transposing method, or this is not transposing. This type of arrangement is called as simply rearrangement of the equation in the left hand side or in the right hand side. So yes, so transposing is basically the process of moving quantities across the equal sign in an equation to make the problem solving process more efficient. And during that, what happens? The plus becomes minus, minus becomes plus, division becomes multiplication, and multiplication becomes division.